That was really weird. It just like cut off on me. Stop streaming. I think we're back. Just real quick, can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you. I was sitting here thinking it was streaming, just waiting the timer out, and I look up and there's no bitrate going through, so I'm not sure what happened. Alright, I was going to give it a minute to see if people started showing up, but the show must go on. Greeting, mortals. I'm Phaneronic, your host. Whether you're a seasoned veteran who has etched your legends into the annals of history, or a newcomer taking those tentative steps into the unknown, this show is crafted for you. We're here to plunge into the very narratives that shape this realm, stories of courage, cunning, and the indomitable bonds forged amidst the very chaos that envelops us. Welcome to Crowns and Conquest. What is up, everyone? How are we doing today? We doing good? I've got some exciting stuff for you guys today. I've got a guild spotlight with Odinseed, and then I've got an interview with the one and only ATC Forgiven. He's the in-game photographer. He's got an interesting point of view of the game, so I thought I'd share him with everybody. I'm not sure if any Odinseed members actually showed up for their spotlight or not. If you are, go ahead and let me know in the chat. Last time I did the spotlight and the guild showed up afterwards, so I had to play it again. I mean, I guess I could play it twice, once at the beginning of the show, once at the end. Any members of Odinseed in the chat? Nope. All right. Well, give me a second to queue it up here. All right, and without further ado, I bring you guys Odinseed, the guild spotlight. Greetings, mortals of Myrland, and welcome to Crowns and Conquest's Guild Spotlight. We venture into the heart of Odinseed, a guild steeped in legend and divine ambition. Quoting Odinseed's Dark Council, Odinseed is born from the loins of Odin himself, is led by his son, King Barados. Their history is stuff of legends, from the Dark Council's birth to the epochal Mad King Saga. With over 300 members, they're an ever-growing force that's etched their name into Myrland's annals. Quoting Odinseed's Dark Council, their dominion extends across Nave, with a strong focus in north, from the Minotaur dungeon to the recent conquest of Cave King, bolstering their group's battlefield capabilities. Fielding a strong political influence, the Mangbros alliance includes Odinseed, Content, Saltpack, and others. Again, quoting the guild's council, in the divine hierarchy of Odinseed, King Barados leads with honor. His trusted warriors and minds serve as Jarls, and beneath them are generals, archmages, and Bezerkers. Odinseed's hallmark is their unwavering camaraderie, a close-knit brotherhood that stands firm in the face of chaos. Recruitment? It's not sought, it's granted through divine guidance and King Barados' will. Quoting Odinseed's Dark Council, from the recent claim of Cave Camp Keep to their pivotal role in Axe's victory over the Coalition. They've conquered many challenges, endured every boss, and claimed territory as their own. Currently, their strategy centers on sieging, leaving destruction, and memorable battles in their wake. When asked about one of these memorable battles, the Guild Council replied, 2 moments to find them, their role in the Axe victory, and their recent victories over Nightmare. It seems community engagement is their forte, and members who are streamers and a focus of situational RP. To aspiring guilds, their advice is simple. Do not content Odin, simply bend the knee. To learn more about Odinseed, reach out to key members or visit their website at odinseed.com. Alright guys, let's hear it for Odinseed, huh? Okay, so next on the agenda today, we have our territory analysis. Let me go ahead and get that pulled up. Usually this is a community event, but it seems we don't have much people here, so I'm just gonna go through. Hey, and thanks for the follow, Forgiven. We actually have Forgiven here for our interview, so he'll be up at the end of the show. So let me go ahead and get the territory map pulled up. Okay, so we've had a bit of a mix-up this week. Early in the week, there was a large siege, and at the end of that siege, I believe the keep owners swapped guild stones, which brought the siege back up to 100%. I mean, the keep back up to 100%, which, you know, stopped the siege in its tracks, basically. That's unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. It's a mechanic that works that way at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and go through each one of the known alliances, and that's another thing I need to bring up today. The alliance structure has changed a little. We got one alliance that's changed their names. They've changed it to Mangbros instead of Northmen. So when we get to them, we'll make sure that change is in place there. All right, so we're going to start at the bottom of the list again. So first things up, we've got the Rat Alliance. I believe they're still holding strong. They're still holding on to their keep. I haven't heard anything otherwise. So unless someone knows otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and just mark their keep back down. They're still holding on to, I guess it's called Cran Keep there. Alright, and then we're going to move on to the next guild here. This guild, I believe, if it's the one I think it is, yes, Enclave is the one that's had some changes. So Enclave, they've recently gained a new member where, what was it? Black Lotus has lost a member. So Low has left Black Lotus and they are now part of the Enclave. So the Enclave has grown, grown a new keep, and the Black Lotus Alliance has, lost a keep. So yeah, Enclave's starting to slowly grow here. Okay, I forgot to hit the transition button there. Show you guys when I turned it on. My fault. Okay, so we've got Enclave there. They've got the two keeps in the southwest there, and they've got one, south of Crane Keep. So they've spread some influence there. I imagine Enclave has a strong foothold down in the jungle down there too. I don't know many jungle players, so if anyone has some more information on what's going on in the jungle and wants to get with me after the show, that'd be great. Especially anybody who might be involved in it, firsthand would be much better. All right, and then we're gonna move on to. I need to update that. They actually have 3 now. After this week. Now, with that said, I don't even know if Black Lotus is still even an alliance, because the only thing I knew about them was MKRG and Low were together, and they've split. So now we're looking at MKRG and whatever alliance that might. If there still is an alliance out there, you guys should let me know, and I can put the name back on there. For now, I'm just marking it as unknown. So now this brings us to, I believe, who is the next group on the list here? Oh yeah, it's going to be Levia Nightmare Alliance. And they are down to, they've got 3 now, so we've got another 2 different guilds tied with 3. Morgan and Companions are at least Black Lotus. Okay, so they're still known as Black Lotus. They're still a thing, right? Because I'd gotten word that they were dissolving, so I didn't want to go in here and call them Black Lotus if that wasn't true anymore. So I'll just go ahead and put it back on there for now. Three guilds sounds like an alliance to me. All right, so now we've got Levimere, and they've got their 3 keeps still. They almost you know, they not almost. I wouldn't say almost. They were forced to defend a keep, and at the very, you know, at the midnight hour, they swapped their guildstone and were able to hold on to it. So it seems like that's going to be the strategy for now, swapping guildstones around until they can get that sorted. Okay, and there's the markers for their keep still. We still have that tiny little keep over there next to Cran. Okay, and the coalition. I have heard that there was a few battles involving coalition assets, and I don't have anybody to confirm that. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and put the markers down for. I have these little markers that I put on the map here that indicate where sieges have taken place, or you know, mangs or some sort of siege equipment was marked as being there. So we've got the coalition forces. They're still growing. They've last week they took over rather, Integrity's original keep. Yeah, things change constantly. That's what I'm trying to do here is just as a community, you know, keep a record of what happened as things went along. Because, you know, at a year from now, if we do this every week, it'd be really cool to look back and see how things changed every week. Oh, okay. And then we've still got alliances left here. Let me turn the coalition's name on. Derp. Okay, and the last alliance to go over is we were calling them Northmen, but now they want to be called Mangbros since they're across the map instead of just in the north alone. So they're now going by Mangbros, and they've got 4 keeps. So I did get a few reports of strongholds being torn down in the jungle area. So I put a couple of markers down there roughly around. They asked me to keep it anonymous as to who and what was torn down, but I do have reports of there is some TC fighting going on in the jungles. Even though there's no TC influence there yet, there is definitely fighting going on. All right, and there's where Mangbros, they have their control, and as you can see, they took artisans in. Scorn Bhakti Keep is Levimare now. Okay, I'll make a note of that, and I'll go check up on that for next week. All right, folks. Does anybody have anything more to add? All right. Well, so that's where we're at as a community on the TC level. Coalition with 4, Mangbros with 4, Levimare with 3, Enclave with 3, Black Lotus and Rat Alliance with 1. Man, it's got to be tough to be the Black Lotus and Rat Alliance right now. They're completely surrounded. And I do know that the Rat Alliance operates a lot out of GK, so they run through that whole area there. So they're not necessarily like pinned in or anything of that sort. So we've got some people trickling in now. Maybe I need to find something to do at the beginning of the show to give people a chance to realize it's even live. Because it seems like I blow through all my content and then people start trickling in and pouring in, and we've already, you know, shown everything. All right. Well, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and move on to our interview with Forgiven. He's a great guy, and I just wanted to take a moment and try and spotlight him to the community. You know, the more people who know about him, Bhakti Keep is not in Mangbros. So which one is Bhakti Keep? I mean, as far as like, and I do appreciate you following and coming in and talking to me. So which one of these is not Bhakti Keep? So is it the one I just moved? Yeah, so I just moved one back and forth down there in the middle. Is that the Bhakti Keep or is it the other one? Hey, thanks for the follow, Chubster. So the one I just moved. So they're not in Mangbros anymore? I mean, I will cover any alliances if they putting Mangs on the ground and they're throwing Mangs, I'm covering them. These are just the people who own the keeps, right? So Chubbs wanted to know if I'd cover non-keep owning alliances. Absolutely. The whole point of this is TC. If you're putting Mangs on the ground and you're tearing stuff up, let me know and I'll cover it. This map is basically just displaying the TC in-game map, but with color coding the alliances. So it's not okay. So that's not Mangbros anymore. That's you guys said it was Levymare. So they're back up to 4. So we got a 3-way tie right now. All right. Well, let me change it around then. Let's get this updated while we wait for some more folks to roll in. The Mangbros. All right, so we're gonna change this to green. All right, and then we'll go and update the numbers. That's crazy. They lost to keep, gained to keep. Levymare out here making moves. Political moves. Machiavellian. And that puts Enclave back down to 2. No, not Enclave. That puts Mangbros. No, there's not a 4-way tie. Mangbros is down to 3 now. I'll reorganize the list off stream. It's clunky. Clunky trying to move them around. All right, so that's the current TC atmosphere there. We've got quite a bit going on. And I'm just interested to see what their decision on how they're going to change sieging. Because right now, I mean, the idea that you can change a guildstone at the end and it immediately swaps everybody's. I don't think that was intended. I really don't think that was intended design. It was probably just as an oversight. So once they fix that, we should see more things flying off the shelf. You know, more boulders flying. Was anybody in Bhakti Keeps got a bigger territory? All right, so let's stretch that out a little bit then. It doesn't have to be exact, but we can stretch it out a little bit. I'm assuming it's already butted up to the next next territory there, right? So it stopped growing. we go. And what's the price of steel? Because historically, when big fights take off, and you have server-wide wars, which is we're gearing up for here, the price of steel fluctuates like crazy. So historically, I'd like to keep a track of it as we go. So when we go back and look at these, we can see the fluctuation of steel prices. Anybody know what a stack of steel is going for? I mean, I could go look it up, but all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get the interview with Forgiven started. So for those of you who don't know him, he's an in-game photographer. He plays this game different than anybody else. He avoids all combat, and well, he doesn't avoid the combat. He tries to record the combat. So if you wanted, guild propaganda videos or anything of that nature, any kind of cool pictures, reach out to him. I'm gonna go ahead and get that started. Here we go. Let's one sec. Swap over here and enjoy. Welcome everyone. Today we have Forgiven. I believe many of you know him. He is the photographer that runs around filming everyone in the game.
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. So just briefly here, if you would just introduce yourself.
I'm ATC Forgiven. Guild name is Alive Through Christ, which is ATC, and then Forgiven.
All right, excellent. And you're a photographer in game, correct?
I am.
Yeah,
I
I've seen
enjoy
you.
it.
I've hung out with you many a times, and I've seen you do your work. So I've just got some questions here for you today. Maybe I can help spread the word, so maybe you'll get killed in your work a little less.
Okay.
All right. So first things, what's your gaming background? Like, what attracted you to Mortal? Were you a sandbox gamer to begin with, or?
No. So normally I'm an Arma player, Call of Duty, shoot 'em ups, tactics, Daisy, stuff like that. Most of my friends though are MMORPGs, and I'd never played Dungeons and Dragons. Never played most of the games that are mentioned on the Discord, but they told me this is first person and action adventure and stuff like that. So I joined in. We played for just a little while in Haven. And when we left, the first walk that we took was from MK over to Maduli. And
Oh,
most of
wow,
my friends quit
that's a
right
walk
there.
there. That's a walk.
It was too far. We didn't know what we were doing. And after getting to Tindrum, we got lost, ended up in Tindrum. They got ganked. We all got ganked leaving the front gate several times. And I loved it. I was hooked. The first time somebody came up and said, drop loot, I was like, what does drop loot mean?
Were you all giddy? Were you all giddy and
Oh man,
excited?
it was amazing. It was amazing. I was being robbed. I'd never been robbed before.
Well, yeah. I mean, you said you never played any
Nothing.
MMOs, so I could imagine
Yeah.
that's an experience you've seen in a game before.
Yeah, it was a new experience. I loved it. My guys, however, I've got a couple of them back now, a Guardian or a Strider, what you guys would know them in Orcon, but my guys did not like getting ganked. They were what's the WoW? A couple of them were WoW players, and they were not used to losing their items, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
So
it was
that's as
horrible.
soft as you get there.
Yeah, that was. I mean, they were done. Once they lost that beginner leather set, they were out. Yeah, but man, the role
So you
play
just embrace
got
the
me.
nakedness then, huh?
That's it. For most of what I did. I mean, I continued to get ganked for quite a while,
I
And
imagine you still do. I can imagine how much time
yeah,
you've spent just running out to try and get photos, and you see a cool fight, you run up, and someone who's not aware of who you are just murders.
I do
I
the
mean,
what's up, fellas. It doesn't work all the time.
I've personally heard it in my own Discord. Hey, stop killing him. He's just taking pictures. You know, in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, I like that. The community really sticks up for me. You know the fact that I can walk through a battle sometimes and get right up in somebody's face, and they're trying not to look at me or stab me. Right? They're just kind of side eyed me. It blows me away that the community lets me do that. It absolutely
Oh man,
does.
we dig it, dude. Like, I don't want to speak for everybody, but the stuff that I've seen you turn in after doing photo shoots, it's always cool to go back and see it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
All right, so my next question here is obviously you don't have any territorial control aspirations. I mean, you're a solo guild, right? So
Yep.
what are your plans for TC? Are you going to try and get some on the field, battlefield reports? You going to attach to an alliance and, document it, or what's your goals there?
No, to be honest, I now I've got people that are sending me messages saying, "Hey, we're going to siege this. Don't tell anybody." Um, so I try to, whenever I'm online, I try to scoot over there without anybody knowing what I'm really doing. And what I do now is I post, like, for instance, Kodo was sieging a house up on a hill one day, and the guy stopped and grabbed me, and he's like, "Get on, forgiven, no time to explain. We're doing stuff." I was like, "All right," so we get up top of the hill, and he told me, he said, "Hey man, the only thing that we ask is don't post any of the photos until we're done. We don't want to alert the whole server." And I'm like, man, that's a normal thing for me. I try not to give away people's positions or stuff like that. When it comes to territory control, I plan to do the same thing. So I've got a gallery, and I've got uh, some sites that you guys don't see, the general public doesn't see. What I do is I post in that, and then once the sieging or everything is open for everybody to see, then I'll start pulling pictures out of that and posting them in the open Discord. So I
That's that's super
try to
nice
maintain
of
it.
you to respect that, because that's part of it's a mutual trust, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All
And
right. And have you ever? Is there anybody in particular that's just never? What happens if somebody doesn't want to play ball? Do you just stop taking pictures of them, or
yeah, I call them non-photogenic. Um,
non-photogenic? You got a
yeah,
name for it, huh?
yeah. So those guys, let's say that I take a picture of 10 people and they're in the background, I will blur them out intentionally. I'll go out of my way to
It's
just
like some FBI level. Just blur their
yeah,
blur their
I'll blot them right
faces.
out. Yeah,
Wow!
I sure will.
Wow! Wow!
They were Barados and his guys were over in Hilspia, and I came up with the miscreants. One of the $2 horde grabbed me and said, "Hey, we're fixing to go to a fight." And I was like, "Yeah," he threw me on the back of the horse, and we took off. And um, they were running circles, trying to catch up with each other, just running in circles. And at the end of it, there was one good ambush. The miscreants and $2 horde were on top of a hill, firing down on them. But other than that, there wasn't really a whole lot of action. Well, one of the guys on both sides, actually, two on the miscreants and $2 horde, and then one of the guys on the other side sent me messages basically saying, "Hey, if you're going to hang out with us, you can't be hanging out with them." And I was like, "Man, I don't think you understand what I do. It doesn't matter to me what guild you're in. It's about the people. I like meeting people. I don't care about your guild or your politics or what beefs you have." But one of them stabbed me, is the point, over on the miscreant side. And
Of course, as they.
so, well, yeah, I mean, I like the miscreants. Don't get me wrong. It was a newer guy that didn't really know me, and then their rule on the miscreants is you kill whoever you want. So it's not like this guy's cool with our guild.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
for them. It's whoever you want to kill whenever you want to kill it, and I respect that, by the way. But on the flip side, I ended up erasing. I think I had like 25 pictures of those guys, and it was like, you all got deleted for that. Everybody's picture from
Oh.
that night got deleted, and it was some good pictures. I'm not gonna lie. I had one of thighs or Ty, how they call him, Thymorkel. I had a
Yep.
really good one of him, man. I was bummed to erase it, but if you're the leader of a guild and you authorize me being killed, I just delete your pictures. That's the only recourse that I really have, because I'm not gonna, start crap or whatever. And even then, a couple of the miscreants texted me and said, "Hey, man, I apologize. This is our rules. this is why he can do that. And I said, hey man, I apologize as well, because here's my rules. If you intentionally target me when you know me, I just delete your pictures. And so he said, hey, I appreciate that. And that's pretty much it. No hard
Are
feelings.
you guys cool now?
Yeah,
Are you?
we were cool that night as far as I'm concerned. But it's just, I spend a lot of time trying to get to these battlefields and to get up front and
Yeah,
not,
that's what. Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. Like in my head, I just imagine you spend hours getting ready or running out
yeah,
across the world, and then you just get murked when you get there.
yeah, right when you walk on the battlefield. I mean, it just there's a lot of times where
They see the naked Vila and they're like, get him, you know.
that's it. Well, when they came out with the ACT, not ATC, but ACT, so every time I would pull in the Meduli, I had another noob stabbing me. And I was like, no, bro, no, you're dyslexic. Just stop hitting me for a second and let me grab your picture. But
Just read.
yeah,
Break
it's,
out the
it's I'm
crayons and draw.
ATC, yeah, but it's an easy thing to do, and I get it. But a lot of times, like what you said, now the guilds are saying, hey, Forgiven is just here to make you look cool. That's all I'm there for. On the battlefield, when you guys are fighting, I'm just there to make you look cool. I just want to have fun, play the game my way, let you play yours, and make you look cool while we're both doing it,
Yeah, man, that's kind of what I'm doing here with the show. I'm just trying to make everybody look cool. You know,
That's
just
it.
spotlight a guild, spotlight the community. You know, try and drive some engagement.
Yeah, I listened to your first one before I came on. It's cool. I really like it.
Oh
I
man,
hope
I
it takes
appreciate it.
off. I really do.
Well, it's a struggle right now. I'm working on it. You know, it's a struggle trying to find people to interview, and I'm glad you came in. You came in clutch, so appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a couple more questions here for you. So first off, is there any advice for new players? Like, if you were seeing somebody wanting to get into the game, what advice would you give them?
That's a good. There's a couple things. The biggest one is to make friends in town. And it doesn't matter if you end up on a different guild, or even if you've joined another guild that's against somebody, you can meet people in town and get to know that person. If you only get to know the guild, the wrong time to meet a new person is in the field where everybody's got their weapons out. You want to talk to them in town. Hey, Feneric, this is who I am. Who are you? What guild are you with? Meet people. If you talk to people, they're well, I'd say 90% less, but in mortal, they're like 60% less to kill you in the open if you've had a conversation with them in the town.
Yeah, or they'll at least talk to you like, "What are you doing out here?" before they slaughter you.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of complaints that you get from new players is they didn't say anything to me. They just stabbed me. They just killed my horse and killed me. Now on the other side, those guys were in a guild chat in their Discord, and there's 20 of them talking, and they're like, "Hey, we got a new player. Does he look like he's carrying something? Yeah, maybe. All right, go ahead." It's nothing personal. It's just
Exactly,
they
exactly.
don't know who you are.
I've heard that conversation many times.
Yeah, that's it.
And you said there's two things. So one thing you got to talk in town, and what was the other one?
It's not personal. That's
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
so often
definitely.
these guys they get out, they grind a little bit. They're new players, and a lot of people come into this game thinking, I can solo this. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to buy this off the market. And then they get in the game, they spend a couple hours doing something. They walk outside of town 30 seconds in any direction. They see a stronghold. 10 people are standing in front of the stronghold, and then they're back out grinding pigs here in a couple minutes. And they take it so personal. If you look at Call of Duty and you say, this guy keeps killing me, he's camping this corner, I know he's there, you kind of expect to get killed repeatedly, right? On Mortal,
Right.
for some reason, they don't prepare you for how many times you're going to die. And you have to understand it's not personal.
Which is strange with things like Dark and Darker being so popular, Tarkov and stuff. It's
Yeah,
weird.
exactly. That's it.
All right. And then so do you have anything you got going on that you would like the community to know about? You know, do you have any like specials running or anything? I don't know. Is there something you'd like to share with the community?
No, so I used to do everything just on tips. Um, it's never really about the gold or whatever with what I do, but somebody told me, a very wise person, I was very humbled for this person to pull me aside. They said that if you don't put a value on what you do, nobody else will. You have to put a price on your stuff. Don't just
Right.
tell
If they see it's
people
for
it's fine.
free, if it's for free, they're probably not going to value it, right? But if they
Yeah,
think
that's
it
it.
costs if they cost gold, then it has some innate value to them.
That's it. And so, I try to come up. I hit you up. As a matter of fact, you're one of the people that in the community that I really respect. Um, at Radiance on your guild has
Right.
helped me just tremendously. Radiance took me to the side, showed me all kinds of different play styles. Um, that guy is free. He's got me on speed dial as far as I'm concerned. Did an excellent job. Um, but I only charge to like charge my trinkets and stuff like that. The one thing that gets me is when somebody says, "Hey, I'm over here in Vada, and I know you're in Tendrum, but can you run over here and just get me a shot real quick, and I'll tip you?" It's like, yeah, no problem. So I tell my wife, "Hey, I've got to do this thing on the game," and my wife's like, "It's date night." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it only take like 5 minutes. I'm telling you, 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes." And then I come on, I ghost run down Nevada, and I get there, and the person says, "Oh, I had to take off to go walk the dog," or stuff like that. To me,
Oh man,
if
that's
anybody can
nutters,
remember it,
right?
time. I believe everything is time for time. Um, I genuinely, in what I do, time is very valuable to me.
Yeah, and it's a matter of respect thing. Like you told me what time you're going to be here today. You were there like on the minute. So
Yeah, and I normally schedule it. I literally do schedule real life around some of these guys, and the community. If I can blab for just a second, but a lot of times in the community, people. I know that you're against Kodo, or you're against the miscreants, or you're against whoever, black team, or whatever guild that you choose. I know that you got beefs with them, but I meet people. Like I said at the beginning, I meet people, not guilds, right? So
right,
a lot of things can be solved that way. A lot of things can be started that way. Um, but at the end of the day, I just want you to know that when I'm hanging out with you, I'm not here to badmouth the other guild or team, or stuff like that. I'm here just to have a good time, enjoy this. For me, this is my relaxing time. I'm way too busy at work, and I've got a high stress job, so I'm way too busy to be doing that, to be worried about what guild is sieging what guild.
right.
I
Unless you
so
got a chance to go take pictures of it, huh?
that's it. I'm just here to make you look cool, and so just remember that you'll see me bouncing back and forth between the teams. And man, I'm just here to have some fun. And if you
Well,
treat it
if
like
we
that,
can
I'm
do
here for it.
anything here, we'll try and spread the word for you, right?
Yeah,
And
and
um, I don't think I have any more questions because most of these were more for people who run guilds and stuff like that. But I
yeah,
really wanted to give you a chance to showcase and do my part in letting people know who you are, so that way you can do your thing.
and I appreciate it. So, if I could give you one thing, so you were saying that you were looking for more interviews and stuff like that. Are you focusing just on TC or guilds, or can it just be anybody?
It's really just anybody in the community of note. If they got something cool going on, I'm interested in it.
Have you met the goblin in Jungle Camp?
The Goblin in Jungle Camp. No.
I will try to put you in touch with him.
Yeah, fill me in on him after this interview. We're actually out of time for the segment, so I want to go ahead and cut us off now, and then you can fill me in off the recording here.
I got you.
And that's gonna be it, guys. This is ATC Forgiven, and let him take some pictures of you. Reach out to him on Discord, and you guys have a great. Greetings, mortals of Myrland, and welcome to Crown and Conquest's Guild Spotlight. We venture into the heart of Odinseed, a guild steeped in legend and divine ambition. Quoting Odinseed's Dark Council, Odinseed is born from the loins of Odin himself, is led by his son, King Barados. Their history is stuff of legends, from the Dark Council's birth to the epochal Mad King Saga. With over 300 members, they're an ever-growing force that's etched their name into Myrland's annals. Quoting Odinseed's Dark Council, their dominion extends across Nave, with a strong focus in north, from the Minotaur dungeon to the recent conquest of Cave King, bolstering their group's battlefield capabilities. Fielding a strong political influence, the Mangbros alliance includes Odinseed, Content, Saltpack, and others. Again, quoting the guild's council, in the divine hierarchy of Odinseed, King Barados leads with honor. His trusted warriors and minds serve as Jarls. And beneath them are generals, archmages, and berserkers. Odinseed's hallmark is their unwavering camaraderie, a close-knit brotherhood that stands firm in the face of chaos. Recruitment? It's not sought, it's granted through divine guidance and King Barados' will. Quoting Odinseed's Dark Council, from the recent claim of Cave Camp Keep to their pivotal role in Axe's victory over the Coalition, they've conquered many challenges, endured every boss, and claimed territory as their own. Currently, their strategy centers on sieging, leaving destruction, and memorable battles in their wake. When asked about one of these memorable battles, the Guild Council replied, 2 moments to find them, their role in the Axe victory, and their recent victories over Nightmare. It seems community engagement is their forte, and members who are streamers and a focus of situational RP. To aspiring guilds, their advice is simple. Do not content Odin, simply bend the knee. To learn more about Odinseed, reach out to key members or visit their website at odinseed.com. All right, let's hear it for Odinseed, folks. You can say one thing about that group of players. They always bring entertainment wherever they're at. They're one of my favorite groups that I've ever had to fight. They seem to always be having fun, you know, and that's the kind of people I enjoyed fighting. People who seem to be having fun doing so, not necessarily people who are sweating it up, you know. All right, so I do have another like small announcement. I don't know if it's quite ready at the moment, but what I have built a bot that tracks duels and is integrated with Twitch. This bot we can basically host ego duels on stream. So I'm thinking I'm going to end the stream or maybe start it with ego duels. I think starting might be a better idea because I've noticed that by the time enough people get into the chat, you know, like right now we got 20 viewers. When I started and the first time I played that guild spotlight, I only had 3 viewers. So, or at least that's what the counter said. So I need to find something to front load the stream to let people realize the stream is live and to get, you know, let people file in, because everybody knows Twitch announcements and the Twitch notifications are dog water. And then in case any of you guys missed it, we'll go back over the territory analysis real quick. This is the current alliance map. Let me see if I could turn my bot on here. And I'll give you guys a little display of what I'm talking about when I say a Twitch bot. I do have a starting down. It was actually up for 30 minutes, right? Hey E-Tech, I hope you saw your spotlight there. Yeah, so it was like a half hour. It was up and running, you know, and then I start the show. Normally I start the show, I got a little intro, and then I play the guild spotlight, and then we go over territory control, and then we do the interview, right? But it seemed like people didn't actually show up till the interview was almost over, right? And so I've already done all the content. So I need to find some way to front load the stream so we can have some content, you know, that lasts, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes before the show starts. And I think the perfect for that would be some ego duels. And this bot I made tracks the duels in a SQL database, so it's forever, right? So if you have an honor duel on here, it records the time, video, the score of the match, everything. Barados went live and it derails plans sometimes. Oh, yeah, you know, it's okay, man. You know, I'm not expecting other people not to stream because I know I'm coming up, you know. And I don't even think you guys probably didn't even realize I was doing your guild this week as the guild spotlight. And, you know, I think as time goes on, people will be more aware that I'm doing this show on Monday, and it'll be something people actually, you know, pay attention to. Or at least that's the hope. All right, let me see if I can turn this bot on real quick. So he's already been streaming for Jesus. $16-hour streams, man. Dude, I just couldn't imagine. Yeah, let's give it up for Forgiven, man, for being a champ. He doesn't really like being in the spotlight like that and really doesn't like, you know, doing interviews, but he took one on the chin for me and came in and filled in the spot. I was really struggling to get that spot filled. I couldn't find anybody. So Forgiven asked me about the show, and I was like, dude, I really need somebody to interview. And he was like, I got you. So he came on, and I really appreciate that. Zephy, how do you pronounce your name? Zephipor. I'll keep up. It's nice to learn more about the community. I'm a solo casual PvE player. Yeah, this is kind of, you know, this isn't necessarily for the people who are in it and on it every day. Most of what I talk about here, people are already aware of, you know. This is more for trying to expose either new people or people who don't have their finger on the pulse, right? Right, and there's real politics here. There's real politics involved. Like, you know, Three Keeps changed hands in the last 2 weeks, and there was really no fighting over them. There was politics. Okay, I've got one of the bots turned on. It's two parts, so let me get a second to turn the other one on, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So it's basically in ego duels, leader, you know, leaderboards, keeps track of who won, who lost, when you were challenged, so on and so forth. So we can have some ego duels, you know, lined up weekly. Yo, who was the chick that I think it was a chick. They used to do the interviews in character, and she had that one funny video where she was interviewing and then the whole city got raided. And she just kept trying to carry on with her interview the whole time. Does anybody remember her? Yes, Riley from Nave News. I would love to get them people on, collaborate with them. Hell, we'll give them a segment. Okay, so I'm gonna dual putts in, right? This might be a little beta testy because I finished this in a coffee fueled rage of coding. So if something happens funny, it's just because it's in beta. But I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys about it so you could look forward to it. So I'm gonna dual putts in, and he's gonna type. Ooh, wait, what's wrong? Hold on, Putsy. Let's start that over. I'm dumb. I meant to type your name. There we go. All right, now just type exclamation point accept. All right. And crap. Okay, so it uses I forgot the auth token. One sec, guys. This was a spur of the moment thing. I didn't expect to show you guys this. I know what it is. The auth token's got to be redone. Okay. Basically, moral of the story is it does in chat predictions. So I just realized I have to get a new key. So my dev key expired. Um, and that's going to take a minute to do. So I'm not going to wake you guys wait for it. But basically, me and him, we challenge each other to a duel. Duel gets approved. I'll just use a database entry for it already. So he approved the duel. Right. Let me update the database. I'll manually do it so it just does it on shows on the screen. All right. So me and Putson have a accept the duel. We're gonna fight. The overlay is gonna automatically update and show that me and him are dueling. Takes about 10 seconds to update. So it's round zero. So on round zero, we take bets. That's when the betting starts. As you can see over there on the left, that's the leaderboards. I'm going to make those move down to the bottom of the screen. Um, so then, and then when we move to the next round, we'll say that, Putson won that round, right? This all actually works. I just have to get a new key, and I'm not going to make you guys sit around while I go and do that. It doesn't have permissions. So then, round moves to round one. Putson won one. We're going to the new round. It's the overlay works. See? So now it's round one, so on and so forth. And see, Putson's not ranked, so it shows NR because he hasn't actually won a match. Right? So we'll just go ahead and pretend that Putson won the next two rounds. So you got all three of the fights. And then we're on round three. Right? I'm just manually editing these in the database. The bot does actually work. Like I said, I just the key is expired, and I realize I have to go log into a bunch of stuff, and I don't want to do that right now. Um, yeah, and so see, I just wanted to guys show you guys like so. The idea here is we can do straight up ego duels on stream, recorded in history and full HD glory. So if that's something anybody's interested in, let's try to plan for next week at the beginning of the we're going to try and do some like honor duels early on. So maybe the first 30 minutes, half hour will be purely duels and like let's say fab. So that way, by the time people actually show up, I'll have content for you guys. It's good to see you around though, Putson, for real. All right, so let me see who we're gonna go kick off to here. Who is live on Twitch? It's definitely the champion you deserve. All right, guys, let's go say what's up to Vicness. And thanks again, everybody, for coming out. I hope to see you guys all again next week. Vicnus. He rated me last week. That's why I even managed to hit 70 viewers, was because he rated me. So I'm gonna rate him back and just show him some love back. And Viridian Vixen, that's actually my wife, guys. So shout out to the wife for putting up with all this craziness. See you next time on Crowns and Conquest. Yes, shout out.